Yeah, now we're live. There we go. Hey guys, I just want to say Jim is Jim showing you here our new sponsor for us three, DQ. No, I'm kidding. I know everybody, if I tell you we're sponsored, will automatically click out of the video. So don't do it. We don't have one by DQ at all. So all right, there we go. Got me. All right, guys. Hey, we appreciate everybody coming in. I don't even see we've already got 31 in here. Sorry we was a little late. We were cracking jokes on everybody, mainly Jim, because Jim's got like we always say, the reason why you can't get your baits right now is because Jim has them all.
And he's the most handsome. Look at him, all golden, bronzy tan over there.
I know.
Looking very well,
beard, well manicured beard. Yeah,
I was in the sun today, so I mean,
just kind of replenish that golden, tan he's got going on there. All right, guys, for you all that don't know, I'm going to let these two gentlemen introduce themselves and shout out all their social media real quick. Let you know where you can go check them out. Make sure you go subscribe to their channels. Jim, go ahead and tell us, and Debo, you jump in after him.
Tackle Junkie 81 here. You can find me on Instagram, the old Book of Faces, YouTube, Tackle Junkie 81. I'm here in the Midwest, and my channel is basically, bass fishing, bait reviews, reel reviews, kind of gear type stuff. Like I said, a bit of fishing and all that. Just a little bit of everything. I do fish from the bank, fish from the boat. And as you can see, I love tackle.
Like I said in what video was that? The giant Jim fishes from the bank in the boat. He does go both ways.
Both ways. That's right. I go both ways. That's what he just said.
I'm just on the boater side primarily. Debo's on the bank side.
He's a master baiter.
He's the master of bank fishing baiter. He's
the master of the universe. Gotta embrace the old school TV shows. Yeah, I'm Debo. Debo's fishing, nerd at heart. I love to fish. I do primarily bank fishing. I do have an aluminum kayak, so I get out on that whenever I can. But yeah, in Iowa, pretty similar to Jim. A lot of the same stuff. So I'm just not as handsome, and I don't have my own tackle store like Jim, sponsored by DQ.
Debo, you need to move that camera around, boy. I know what's in that background.
I got maybe 5 rods and a couple.
And the first time he reaches for a bait behind him, I'm out.
The only thing I got ready just because I didn't think I had a frog close was the freak frog color.
The freak.
That's it.
That's a good one.
I already had a frog tied on. I thought I didn't. So yeah. All
right, guys. I want to say hey to everybody. Fat Boy Fishing's in the house. Muddy Mash Adventures. Rhino Joe. Tom Mix. Jesse. Hey, we appreciate everybody being here. We're just going to shoot the bull. We're going to take some questions, but we are going to talk about what's really some of our favorite baits to use in August, what's kind of already been working for us here, the end of July, 1st of August, here in the dog days. Sorry, Amberbach there. In the dog days of summer. Speaking of which, what's the temperature been like your guys' way?
Air temps, water temps?
Air temps, water temps, both.
Let's see. Last week, dang it was pushing 100. Yeah. And then on Saturday, though, it did drop down to low 70s. Now, today at the lake, I was on one of the main lakes that I fish on the Crestliner, and it was 83, which I expected it to be much warmer than that. So that was kind of crazy for August.
Yeah, we mirrored you the same. We had like a heat index warning last week. Yeah, it was like 110 heat index, 115. Then we dropped. It was like 66 when we went out this weekend, Randy and I. Like in the morning, but then it warmed up. It was like 80 something, and then I think today was 85. So
yeah, it felt like fall fishing today. I mean, it was I think in the 70s for the most part, and shad all up shallow. It felt like fall fishing,
Same here. So I guess we got the cold front that hit you guys, earlier. We had a little bit of rain. I think it was Saturday night. And so we were the same all last week up until literally Saturday. It was, 90s, mid 90s. And today it got up to like maybe 73. So it was a really nice day. And, I jump out on the lake and, I'm looking for some deep fish. And Mondays are always hard because, the lakes are getting beat up on the weekend. So you go fishing on a Monday, it can be a grind. And I get out there and pull up on my first spot, and they're suspended and chasing shad. And I'm like, oh, topwater, boom, boom, 2 casts. And then that was it for the rest of the day. Nothing hit topwater or busted the top the rest of the day. It was just total garbage. I was like, are you serious? Tomorrow it'll be great because there's another storm rolling in, and it's going to be cool again. So second day it'll have everything up and rolling.
I expected the lake to be pretty calm today, but it seemed like when at the end of the day when I was sitting down trying to make some videos, all I was doing was this was all because all the boaters out there pulling the tubes. I had a few choice words to say in my videos, but that'll get cut out.
Hey, I know somebody else that's pulling the tube around. Hey, traitor.
Hey, I'm on a much bigger body of water when I'm doing it,
No excuses. Next thing we know, we'll see them on jet skis washing out bass boats.
Well, usually when I'm down there, I do jet skis too. I just don't post pictures.
Send your hate mail. Send your hate mail to people.
I stay away from all the fishermen. I'm not like these jokers around here.
Yeah, well, we know. All right, guys. So let's start with you, Mr. Debo Fishing. Go ahead and tell us what's been working for you so far.
Me already, huh? I figured you were going to go first.
No, man, I'm going last.
All right, I'll go quick.
Big hurrah.
I'll go quick. Okay, so first thing, this is just because this was stuff I had tied on. The swim jig, and you could really replace this with a chatter and bait. Just the place that I was in was very weedy. So swim jig comes through that really well. This is a Cumberland Pro Lures. It's got the vertical line tie, so that nose really cuts through stuff. If you're looking for a swim jig, something like that. Got a 6th Sense Divine on the back of it, and I just dipped the tail in some chartreuse. 15-pound mono actually on here because I was using it for topwater, but this is that Cashin Icon, the chatterbait rod. First Cashin rod that I've used. I really like it. Kind of took a bit to get used to their Kevlar handles. A little bit weird, but I kind of like it. And then the Piscifin Alloy M that I picked up on Amazon, trying out. So far, it's actually impressed me quite a bit. I've had a couple other people use it that I fish with.
Is that grip? Is that pretty slick? Is it grippy?
It's weird because it's like it's grippy, but it's like if I were to just barely run my fingers over it, it almost feels like a basket. It's like a weave on it,
right?
And it's like it's not a grippy material, but
when it gets wet,
it doesn't matter. Like if you just barely touch it, it feels like it's going to be slick. I was pretty hesitant when I first bought it because it's kind of hard. It's not soft or anything, when you're used to picking up like EVA and stuff. But when you actually grab it, it's super, super grippy. Like I don't even know what I would equate it to, but yeah, first off, when I grabbed it, I'm like, oh, this stuff sucks.
Well, so it's a weave. It's a weave.
Yeah, it's a weave of Kevlar and something else they say on the website. So it's hard. But I think that's why they did that is because, a lot of people talk about EVA dampens vibration, right? So if you want to ride that, you can feel that stuff, cork or ideally nothing if you had just the blank.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what they market on this is, it's a harder, denser material that you're going to feel those vibrations through as opposed to, EVA or cork that kind of grabs some of that and dampens it. But
and it looks like it's got a bit of girth to it.
Oh, God.
Tonight's
Lord.
tonight's live stream is actually brought to you by Michelob Ultra Amber Bock.
There you
go. A dark beer.
All right, number 2, real quick. Went out. Got that. That was yesterday, right? Today's Monday. Today's Monday. Yeah.
Yep.
That was yesterday. It was a grinder though. I was throwing big worms. I was trying to do the trifecta. Caught a couple on green pumpkin. Caught a couple on black and blue. Then I had this random red. These were all Berkeley power bait worms. Durability on these suck. It's the in the purple pack, the ones that they joked about that were going to be banned or whatever. Yeah, durability on these is not good. Maybe a fish, maybe 2 on them, but Cool action, look good. I was throwing it on the Halo KS2 Elite. This is a 7.2 heavy. Pretty cool rod. I like it. Really comfortable. It's got the cork, and then old school, the old Corrado, the mean green, the pretty green though.
The beast.
Old school Corrado 200 E7, and then some 17-pound Keyline Tactical, the soft stuff. And
How you liking the Gomex handle?
oh, love it, dude. Yeah, the
Yeah,
Gomex
dude,
handles are. I can't afford them for every single one. I've got them on a couple where I like to hook set really hard. Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah,
These and actually, oh hey, not that I had this sitting here ready, but I was moving stuff. Spool Speed makes some too. So those are honestly the two that I found that I like the most. Either one, both is a good buy. Try to get them on sale. And then,
now, Hank, did you see that? All I did was mention handle, and he had it at the ready. Who else would have a handle at the ready?
damn, dude. Fair enough.
Only Debo would have a handle ready.
Dude,
that was a good pickup.
If I had it here, it's actually within arm's length. Here's why. This is going to be a whole video soon.
What are the odds, you know?
Oh,
Since
he's the rod reel parts piece guy.
Since Jim's being a tough guy about it.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying.
So this is my Tatula 200. Love this reel a ton. However, I actually broke the handle nut off of it. I set a hook on a bass that was in the pads, like way down in the pads, and I set the hook so hard. And I'm not saying I'm strong or anything, but it's kind of the way I set the hook now, because I wear the GoPro. I kind of set to like 45 degrees,
right?
And when I set it, I don't know if it's a pike or a bass, but it didn't move, and it just goes. And I ended up getting the fish in, but what the hell is wrong? I stripped the handle screw and stripped the main gear on this. So I actually had to call Daiwa and get a new main gear because I completely stripped the end of it and it won't hold it on there. But that's the reason I have that, is because I just had one. It was actually going back to this. Shut up, Jim, you bully.
So I got to get some gears for my 150. Last time I was fishing that, I guess I didn't fully depress the thumb bar and made a cast, and that handle went spinning. Chewed up the pinion. I haven't taken it apart yet to see if it did anything to the main gear, but I know I need a new pinion.
I've done that before. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that.
Okay, last one real quick, then I'll let you guys go. Crap. Is the frog rod. I haven't actually had a ton of. Oh, speaking of those speed spool handles, there's one on there right there. What is it? 110. I think they're 110s. The carbon fiber, super light. But my biggest thing with the Gomexus and these is the actual handle knobs is longer. So you've got a longer handle here at 110 millimeters, but it's these, because I can't tell you how many times. And again, it's because it's bad form. It's totally bad form on my part, because I hook set at like 45 degrees instead of straight up, because I still have the old GoPro, and I've broken like 12 of those little dongle things that you have to put in between the mic and the GoPro. Yeah. And at $12 a piece, I mean, that's you're burning through them. I think one year I broke like 6. And It's just, it sucks. But Okuma Komodo, y'all have seen this if you watch my videos. Okuma Komodo reel, the 200 size, really like that. And then the Serrano, good budget rod. It's right at $100, but that's my 7.3 heavy Froggen. Froggen's been kind of slow this year, but now's the time to catch them. And then 6.5 pound.
I'll be honest with you on that first combo. I've been impressed with Piscfun's even their lower end reels and their rods, especially. Me and Jim talked about the what is it, the serpent rod?
Yeah, that's their high end one. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's still like it's cheaper than $100, ain't it?
It could be. I think it could be right around $190, something like that for that one. Yeah. But then the step down is the
Torrent.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, those are solid rod too. I think those are right around $60. Ain't they?
I was using that. Yeah, they're actually. I think they might be more around that 40, 49.
Oh, okay, cheaper than that.
I'll tell you what, that Daiwa Arid X that I picked up for my buddy for a topwater, kind of an all-around topwater rod. Man, I was so impressed with that. And what I was most impressed with is even when I cast that one knocker that's like a 3/4 ounce, I really expected it to be soft when you're walking that bait. Right. But it really had a good backbone to it. You just barely twitch it. It was impressive for the money. $45, I think. Wow. On Tackle Warehouse. That's pretty incredible. Cool. All right, Mr. Tackle Junkie.
I didn't really get what was. I didn't get what was like working like for the last month or so. I just kind of grabbed what I caught them on today, which
That's
really
fine.
wasn't a whole lot. But start with the old 10-inch worm. That's just the old bio spawn there. Where are we at? It's a little 10-inch bio spawn. Just kind of pitching that around docks today. Caught a few on it. Nothing to brag about as far as size goes. What'd I say?
A little 10-inch.
Little 10-inch. I forgot I'm in the group of guys that 10 inches is small.
It don't have the girth on it like you would think.
Well, that's a good
But
thing.
I mean, it's not bad. I mean, really, it's more tail. You know, I mean, it's not really.
Yeah.
Is that red shad?
Everybody
red
wants
shad,
a little more tail.
I'll drink to that. Anyways, yeah, 10-inch worm, red shad, 15-pound. This is Seagar Abrazex. Then we got the Helios SX. That's in a what we got here? 7.3, and then the Helios SX rod in a 7.3 as well, medium heavy, fast action. And then I really didn't plan on tossing a spinnerbait today, but when I got there, there was a bit of wind. I seen all the shad up shallow, so of course I did pick one up. Got the old, that's a Picasso.
Never mad at that.
What's up?
Said I'm never mad at that. Never mad at
No,
picking
dude,
up the spinnerbait.
I love spinnerbait bite. That one there, that's the Picasso. You guys use that one, the Picasso
I've not used any of their spinnerbaits. No.
No, I haven't.
Dude, you're missing
either.
out, man. That's the hog snatcher. That's the tungsten right there. But if you want to try one, you need to try the Inviswire, the .028. And with that wire, I mean, it's got really the most vibration that at least I've used with all the spinnerbaits that I've used. That wire, even with the smaller blades, has the most vibration of all the ones that I used. And they're only like, I think the biggest could only be like maybe a size 4, 4.5. So you're not talking huge blades, but you still get a lot of vibration out of the willow blades with that that wire. Anyways, spinnerbait, that's 15-pound Seagar and Vizax. That's a Steez A. And then that's the EVX 6.8 medium heavy mod fast spinnerbait rod. Got a lot of tip to it, so really good for moving baits.
Did you say 6.8?
6.8, yeah.
Hey, thanks, Leather Stocking, for the $4.99. We very much appreciate it.
Then, of course, like I said, I can't really go anywhere without a good old square bill. And we got the KVD 1.5, one of my go-tos right there, Gizzard Shad. And that is the rattling. You know, fishing that stained and muddy water, I always throw rattling. For a while, those were the Bass Pro exclusives. What's the what do they call it? The Hard Knock now or something they came out with?
Yeah,
is
the
that
one knocker.
Is that pretty much the same thing? Is that the same bait?
No.
Because these here are Bass Pro exclusive. I don't know if the Hard Knock they're selling everywhere. Like, what's the difference?
I think the Hard Knock has only one solid knocker. It's like the one knocker type thing, I believe.
Gotcha.
The other ones has
these
like.
Are.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, these aren't. These aren't. Let me take one out. I don't believe these are all the BBs.
I thought those had. I'm trying to think. What is it that had like the 5 BBs or whatever?
How dirty is the water that you're fishing? Because it kind of surprises me that you're throwing a gizzard shad. Or yeah.
Sounds more like a one. I don't think that's a bunch of BBs in there. And actually, I have some of the Hard Knock in a boxer that I haven't opened up yet. I can't reach it.
A one knocker.
Cannot
maybe
reach
it's
it.
Oh,
maybe.
I just have longer arms than you. How tall are you? I'm 6'1".
I cannot reach it, but there is a handful of them.
Crap.
I was just wondering since I thought this more sounded like a one knocker. I didn't know.
Maybe it is. I'm trying to remember. I read something on.
If it's a one knocker, it sounded a little high. Of course, that could be the mic. The one knockers most of the time have the big, like heavy tungsten, that one big. So maybe it's
right. Like I said, once I open them up, I'm sure I'll do a video comparing the two. But anyways, yeah, I like the rattling. I mean, it's pretty stained to muddy. The one lake that I fished, I mean, if you got 2-3 inches visibility on a good day, I mean, that's a lot.
Wow,
but
that's
just that
pretty
white
crazy.
side there when it flashes, dude, it really does stand out pretty good in that off-color water. But
well, you're
real,
beating and banging it on the bottom too. So
I'm always making sure I'm hitting bottom. And then we got the Elite there, one of my favorite reels right there. And then the rod is the Akuma Guide Select cranking rod. It's a medium power with a mod fast action. And like I said, I've used all the cranking rods from Akuma. This one is a medium power, but to me it feels a bit heavier than that. And so you still got plenty of backbone when you're shallow.
I like that rod a lot.
Yeah,
I've got one of those
awesome rods.
It's a sick crank rod.
Yep. So, anyways, that's the 3 that I was messing around with today and caught some fish on. But, Hank, you're up, dude.
Yeah, man, and I'm going to throw the weird at you, of course. You know, I'm going to throw the offbeat weird stuff. By the way, I want to say, Fishing to the Max, hey, brother, I hope you're doing better. Thank you for the $9.99. Thank you very, very much. He's been a long-time supporter of the channel. All right, so you know what's weird is you guys, I meant to bring this in just to show it to you. I've got a video coming out on it. I filmed it today. So I threw a spinnerbait today, too. But the spinnerbait I threw was a 2-ounce.
Yeah.
It was about as big as my hand, and it had a 6-inch swim bait on it. And it had a blade. I don't know what size it was, but it was like that big. So it was a little different.
You ever notice it's always about size for Hank?
It is.
Just saying.
He likes the girth, you know.
I like, yeah, you know, I'm, you know, I mean, I'm old, I'm fat, I'm making up for it. Okay. So that don't work. All right. So I'm going to break something, like literally here in 5 seconds. So the very first thing that was working for me, and you guys didn't see it in the video, or maybe you did. I lost
this from
really.
Today?
Yeah, from today and the video that I put out. I think what is today? Monday, Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So yesterday.
Monday. Yep.
And I had bites on it all day long. I actually recorded a video today talking about ultra clear water and color selection, and you know, so this is one of my favorite little underspins in the world in ultra clear water, and this is a Ledgehead Lures Tennessee River Bling. Now this is the small version. They make them in really big. I mean, they go all the way up to 1 ounce and 3/4 with
how big was that one? I didn't hear.
10-aught Mustang. This one is this is a 4/aught. It is a 1/2 ounce. So
I like the head design, how it's curved so it could jump up, you know, bump over stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you know, you'll notice in most of his, whichever, our cameras are so weird, but you'll notice most of his weight is always in the bottom, so it gives it a lower center of gravity, gives a little bit of body roll to about any, and that's the whole key to a ledge head. This is, talking about this bait makes me sad. And one of the biggest reasons, you know, I talk to people all the time about swim baits, and you can see, you know, here's a one of my favorite Shadalicious. This is a Ghost Shad, a 6-inch, and you'll notice the difference. You'll notice that this bait, just like crankbaits, it's round. So this bait with this tail and everything, you get a lot of out of these hollow bodies, a lot of body wiggle, a lot of tail wiggle. But just like, you know, your crankbaits, these bodies are super, you know, flat-sided.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got a much tighter body wiggle. And in that clear water, when you don't have cover and they can see it coming from, you know, you're talking 15 foot of visibility, and they can see it coming from, you know, 20, 30 yards away. I mean, it really needs to look natural. But this is kind of my go-to this time of year. It's a little bit smaller. On the Top Secret Lake P, which is a small lake, they're chasing small shad. And so what this does, one of the things I actually do is bend this down so it actually looks like a couple of shad swimming around out there. So that's my favorite. This is also the rod that I throw it on. This is actually a local guy makes these. This is a Killer Bass Baits Trident, and it's a 7'3", because I want to be able to get as much casting distance as I can out of it. Medium, heavy, fast action, a little bit softer, a little bit on the softer side. And then of course my BB1 Pro that I love to throw my swim baits on. It's a 6'4" to 1. And I like that 6'3", 6'4". That's kind of what I go for there.
I'm saying when you're throwing that in more open water.
Yeah, I'm throwing that in open water. It's got 12-pound test fluorocarbon on it too. So But that's I like that. This is another little, and kind of talking about the caching earlier with Debo. This rod handle has sort of the same thing, a little different. It's I don't remember if he said it's an epoxy handle or what it is, but this is a JB Custom. I picked it up 2 years back before the whole COVID thing, and we actually had expos. This is
dude, that handle's got way more girth than Debo's.
All right, take a drink.
Not known for my girth, Jim.
Yeah, I'm a girthy guy. I got to take 2 drinks.
I'm talking about the rods. I don't know what Debo. I don't know
Same.
I'm just talking about around here.
So is it like a tacky? Is it like a wind grip, or is that like slick?
It's slick, but I've not had any trouble. It's got the EVA. I've not had any trouble so far with it being wet, especially throwing a walking bait on it. This so far has not gotten real slippery. It gets tacky, but I mean it's literally epoxied over, so I don't know what it is in there. Now
I like how it's cheaper too. It's almost like the grip of a knife. You know how it kind of gets bulbous down toward the like the butt of the knife.
Yeah, and it's like I said, it's supposed to give you more feel. Now I'm using it for a topwater rod, so do you really, what are you going to feel there, right?
Right.
But this is the cool thing, and this rod is actually very heavy. It's a medium heavy fast action, but the thing about it is it's a spiral guide. So the guides actually end up on the bottom of the rod. And that's
loaded up,
yeah, and it's supposed to help you fighting fish and casting distance. And I will say, as stiff as this rod is, like when I first got it, I was like, man, there's no way this is loading up and throwing a spook. I was like, there's just no way. But it casts that daggone thing a mile. And so the bait itself is one of my favorites. And you'll notice Hardbaits, this is kind of that ghost shad. They call this pearl melon, but it's actually translucent. And then it's got a little bit of just like some sort of red and blue
it's coming
pearl. Through. Yeah, pearl essence.
It's like the Ghost Minnow and Lucky Craft.
Yeah, yeah. And you'll notice that's really the color in that ultra clear water. When I'm going to hard baits, that's the color that I go to a lot, and it almost in every single.
Is that a Super Spook Junior?
No, this is just a spook. This is a one knocker though. Like, you hear that?
Yep.
I guess my mic's over here. I should. Hey, do you hear it? Is it coming through the camera? But and that's what I was saying, Jim. You could tell that's a
that's on more of one knocker.
Yeah. So that's a bait that I love. That is
actually, hold on, I might be able to check. Go ahead.
That is actually the bait that where I've been catching them out over 20 and 30 feet. You just walk that real slow, real wide, and something that you guys might. Y'all have seen this. I've got a video, but I actually tie a loop knot. So this is a non-slip loop knot. If you can see that, I don't know if that you can, but anyway, you'll see the knot is actually up, but that's a non-slip loop knot. And that's something that I tie, and I've actually been playing with that on my, because you don't have to have a split ring, so you don't have that weight. You tie that non-slip loop knot, you can really get a side-to-side, a good side-to-side action. And
I use those Norman speed clips. You ever use those?
Yeah, I like those a lot actually. But that loop knot, I've been playing with it too with my jerkbaits, and I've noticed, boy, you can really get some action out of those jerkbaits doing that. Now here, I kind of kept this secret until last year, and I put a video out on it, and haven't talked about it a lot until this year. And this year, man, this has been so far in the early morning. It's really been the star of the show. This is a Lew's Mock Crush spinning reel. I like Lew's because almost all their reels in the spinning reels, they're fast. They're that 6-speed.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Daiwa Tatula 7-foot medium fast action, and this is a Duo Realis spin bait 90. I use the 90. It sinks a little faster. It's got a pretty good sink rate to it. It's a solid foot a second, and you'll notice that's Ghost Nemo. I mean, it's that's the color that I tend to stick to the most. But that's been really, it's not caught me any great size, but when they get finicky, it seems to be catching them. And in that ultra clear water, you really have to, that bait tends to wane off as the sun begins to come up. And I'm fishing that on 8-pound test line. A lot of guys will tell you fish those spy baits on, 4 and 6-pound test line. I just don't have the cojones to pull. I can do I can get down to the 6, but the 4, I just can't do it. I just I don't have the manhood to go that far. Just don't have it. Hey, I want to give a big shout out to Geek him. Hey, brother, I appreciate you. I'm a big fan. Disposing of line properly. Is there a proper way to dispose of old hooks and jigs? Thanks. And, I don't know. Debo's shaking his head, so I'm going to let him answer that question.
Yeah, I don't know for everyone. I guess the 2 ways that I've always done it is before I had. So my wife works at the hospital. So she has like a sharps, container, like where they dispose of needles and all that. So I just put all mine in a baggie and can dispose of them there. Or if you have like a public bathroom, a lot of the public bathrooms will have a sharps disposal. If you don't want to look like an idiot carrying around a bag of hooks in a bathroom, I always just used to take nippers like bolt cutters and just cut the tips off, and then just throw the rest in the garbage and just put the tips in like a bag or something and then dispose of them that way.
Yeah, I always try to put them in some sort of container or box, cut the tips off like you said, just
I
whatever.
Put them in a Gatorade bottle or water bottle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whatever I'm throwing away at the time that's kind of, a little safer than just dropping them down in the trash bag.
Yeah.
All right. You guys got anything you want to touch on before we start just that?
Oh, I was just going to show real quick. I didn't have any of the, I'll bust it open. When Gander went out of business here, I grabbed a bunch of the clears, just thinking that one day I might start lure painting. Funny enough, I did. But we were talking about like rattles and stuff. So these are some of the blanks you can get. This is an actual Strike King. This is a 2.5, right? Yeah, this is a 2.5 blank. But you can see this is a silent, so no sound in it. But you can still see it does have weights. I was hoping I could find, Jim, one of those with rattles in it. But like you said, I think the rattle kind was Bass Pro.
Yeah, and they're in a black package. Yeah, Bass Pro exclusive.
Yeah, so those have the weights. I was hoping to do that, but otherwise, like the Super Spook, this is the Super Spook Junior. That's my favorite out of all of them. And the Spook is known for being a one knocker. So like when you get a Spook, it's going to have that one knock sound. And this one, just to show you real quick, it's pretty cool because they put that weight in the butt end of it. So that way, when your lure sits in the water, it sits like this, and that one brass bead or a bearing, I guess, is going to give you that one knock. So whenever you get a Super Spook type thing, it's always going to be a one knocker, just to kind of show you. Kind of cool. But in case anybody wanted to nerd out over weights and stuff.
Gotcha.
I love those clear one knockers too. And I thought until I seen Jason Christie put a video out on this, I thought I was one of the only guys in the world that took and put some sort of just paint, whether it be black, like I always use a green, like a green gold Sharpie and just put a line down the back, because when you're working it, you got to have some sort of contrast. And most of the time, I've not had a lot of success with just the straight clear baits like that, unless there's some sort of flash to them when they're rolling, or some sort of contrast change. And so then I seen Jason Christie put one out, and he was holding one up where he just took a black magic marker and went down the back. And I was like, damn you. Now everybody's going to think I copied you dirty rat.
Hey, let me ask you guys something. Did you guys do any good on these? I could never get them. I finally got a bunch of these in. The OG Slims.
Well, now I'll say, like, that version has been a staple in my area forever before the OGs come out. Now, I haven't been able to get a hold of any because Jim's got them all, of course. And so,
I won't go in the box.
It's funny how he had those right next to him, huh?
Yeah.
How random is that? Who has OG Slims, one of the hardest baits to find, laying around next to him? He happened to have
When you
one.
got up and
Jim.
went to walk to your store, I had a box over here that I just opened up. I don't have a full store. I have to get up from my seat and walk.
Hey, this is explainable. I paint lures. I mean, come on, Jim.
That's what we're gonna. That's from now on. Every live stream, the contest is guess what's in Jim's box.
Yeah.
Check this color out. Hold on. This will be a good one for me right here. Check that out.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. But those are a spring bait for us, and
Right.
we use those a lot during the during the winter and into the spring. They're a flat side.
I don't plan to
really
throw them
tight.
until I was gonna start throwing them in the fall.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I didn't use that one. I didn't get those until later. Yeah, that's a sweet color too.
that is.
I didn't get those until later, but I had good luck on the Fritz side. The Fritz side 5-foot diver.
Don't they have those in? Isn't there a few different 5s now? Isn't there like a small one, like a medium one,
Yep.
like a big one?
Yeah.
Yeah, like 5 small or whatever. I think
Yeah.
there's a 7 and maybe a 9 or 10 or something like that. Yeah. From the bank though, yeah, I liked it. I like the Fritz side. It definitely has a tight wobble.
Yeah.
It mimics
Oh,
that
yeah.
ball stuff, but it's it's a hard plastic. Obviously a replica of that, but yeah, I liked it. It's got a really cool action.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm a big fan of the Fritz side. Big fan of the Fritz side. It reminds me a lot as you get into the deeper versions of it. I think we had this discussion before, and I've got a whole box of them. I don't remember if it was Bagley that makes them, but anyway, they don't make
Bagley
them anymore.
does. Bagley makes like they still make them though.
Is it? Do they still make them?
Yeah, the B2 or B.
Well, the
Bagley.
ones I'm talking about
Bagley
is like
B2.
the coffin bills.
Oh no, never mind.
Yeah, as you
I thought you were
get
just-
into the bigger Fritz size, the deeper divers, they've literally got a coffin bill on them. So, and they look exactly like that bait. They're made of balsa wood. The old coffin bills were, but the more things change, the more things stay the same, I guess.
Dude, it's so funny how that stuff comes around. I was literally just talking. Oh, salamanders. Burley was showing a salamander that Fish Labs came out
Yeah,
with.
I've seen that.
With like the salamander, it's got like the cool spinnerbait skirt coming out of the gills. I don't have any more. I got rid of that box, but when I was a kid, I never caught anything on them. But I thought they were the coolest looking thing ever. They were probably a 5 or 6 inch salamander that looked almost exactly like that. Not as much detail. They didn't have the feet and stuff, but otherwise looked exactly like that.
Yeah. It's pretty neat. I mean, just how baits kind of come around and go around, because even I was talking about the big spinnerbait that I was using before. They used to have one. I don't remember the exact name, but it was like the ledge something. And I mean, this has been years ago, way back before ledge fishing was really, big. Of course, that company, I don't remember who it was that made it, but I think they're defunct now. So, Oh my God, it's coming in like crazy.
Hey, that Nathan had a question here. You just had him up on the screen.
Oh, did I?
About throwing top water in 20 to 30 foot. Or you throw it in like 165, don't you?
In the fall, yes, sometimes.
Yeah,
What was
Nathan
the
Hovey,
question?
842. Nathan Hovey.
Yep.
Oh, here we go. BS, you throw that in 20. Oh, no. Yeah, I got all kinds of videos. I'll show you I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Go back and watch the video titled Topwater over a 30-foot ledge. I put almost 20 pounds. The first 3 casts are 4-pounders. The first 3 casts. They're setting over a 23 to 25-foot ledge. They're suspended. They're 15 to 20 feet down, and then the ledge drops off into the creek channel to about 35 feet. You just, with largemouth, you just have to work it slow. Pay attention to my cadence in that video. And we're talking again, ultra clear. 15 feet of, see the rocks on the bottom. And you're talking about the max depth is 35, 36 feet. So you can see halfway down. They're not in grass. They're not in wood. They're actually suspended over top of a giant stump. But, that's I do it all the time. And then like Jim said, during the fall, I go out and fish for smallmouth. And this was like, I don't remember if it was like just before Christmas, like 2 or 3 days before Christmas or 2 or 3 days after. I found some smallmouth busting. They were over 90 to 120 feet. They were literally coming. You could watch on the 2D graph the streaks coming out of 60 and 70 feet, shooting up to chase those shad. And the water visibility on that lake at that time was probably only, and these are smallmouth now, a little different creature, but smallmouth, they were doing it, and the water visibility was probably maybe 10 feet, maybe 5 to 8. So that tells you how well these animals can see in open water. You think about it, and these things are coming up and busting on shad that's 2 and 3 inches long.
That's
now
crazy.
Think about that. Think about that. So these
they don't have the amount of girth as a big gizzard.
No. There's some big girthy gizzards in Top Secret Lake P, which I've been fishing the past 2 or 3 days. But it just.
Now, have you always fished clear water? Have you ever fished real muddy water?
I have, yeah. I've when I first started fishing tournaments, and I jumped out, partnered. I fished with other people. I'll never forget. Muddy water just totally threw me off. I was like, what do I throw in this? What do I throw in this? It totally just blew me away. I'm like, I don't know what to throw. I'm like, they're not going to see this swim bait in this.
All right.
I just kind of went back to, okay, do what everybody says, pick up this bait and that bait, and think about sound and think about color. And that's one thing that like if Clearwater hasn't taught me anything, it's taught me to be very good with sound and color. And because the least little bit, like I said, you can imagine, we're talking about those largemouth or those smallmouth coming out of, 60, 70, 80, 90 foot to hit 3-inch shad. And so you can imagine, what those largemouth are seeing. And they're a lot more lazy in 15 foot of visibility on a dead slick day with a bluebird sky. And, they get a good chance to look at a bait and decide if they want to hit it or not. So that was something that I was talking to a buddy of mine about. This is a natural shad, so it's a solid color, but it's just a pearl gray sort of back and a white belly, and this is just a completely translucent. But this translucent doesn't catch them as well as like this translucent, because of the vibration of it, because of the flat sides and how it's a little tighter wiggle. So, so it took me a minute. but I finally kind of got into it and figured out and I now keep my colors very simple, but I can literally tweak out those colors, in any water clarity and go 4 or 5 different colors. And I keep that real simple. Because, you don't want to end up like Jim and, apparently Debo too with, so many baits. And so you can see I've got nothing.
Nothing.
I've got nothing back here.
I have a notebook that has a fish on it, and that's it. There is no bait stuff. I don't know what Jim's talking about.
I got nothing.
All right, Jim. That's what's in my read.
It's in view. I can't get
now, if you guys see any questions, because I'm too busy running my mouth. So
yeah, fishing muddy water. I used to be pretty gaudy with colors, and then the more I thought about it, I mean, the shad, no matter the watercolor, they're still going to look like shad. So I don't go as gaudy as I used to because they're still able to see the shad, which aren't super bright chartreuse. You know what I mean? So I don't go as gaudy as I used to with colors. I try to stay somewhat natural.
Fat boy.
See, Nick knows. Look at my wall. I don't have any lures. I don't know what you want me to say. It's definitely not like old pegboard Paul there in the middle.
You guys, I got a green screen behind me. This isn't even in here.
I did see one. Matthews is that Skeledone? I don't know. I'm going to call you Matthew. Fluke rod, ? Mojo, Fury, or Bass X? I only have the Fury, so I'd say Fury all day. I have the 733, which actually I think is a Fluke rod. So Fury 733 would be my pick.
The only one that I've ever used is the Fury, so it's probably going to be my pick too. Out of that group.
There's a question: the St. Croix Mojo, Dobbins Fury, or Bass X for a Fluke rod. What would you recommend?
Yeah, I've only used the Fury, so I can't tell you. I haven't used the other two.
Maybe that says something if all three of us have only used the Fury.
What do you guys use for my Fluke rod? I use the Akuma, the 7-foot TCS. It's a medium heavy with a moderate fast action. I like that one. It's good for skipping flukes too. It's really the main reason I use it.
I actually use a spinning rod for my weightless flukes.
Do you?
Most of the time, yeah, kind of like my stick baits. You could use it on a bait caster, but I would say like more of a medium-y or a softer medium heavy would be my pick if you're working a little bit bigger fluke.
Yeah, I use a spinning rod too. I don't even remember what it is that I use. I don't even remember the setup.
Mine's just a 7-1 medium. That's kind of normal.
I think mine's a 7-foot medium fast. So, but 90% of the time, of course, when I'm on a fluke, it's got an 1/8 ounce head on it and it's around ledges in about 20 to 30 foot when they're busting shad. I'll throw it out there and let it sink and then just go twitch, twitch, twitch.
Well, for you regular people that throw a fluke weightless,
right?
I think like 3 or 4 out hook on a spinning rod. Yeah, you don't need anything super fancy for a fluke.
What is your favorite soft jerkbait? What's your go-to soft jerkbait?
Probably caffeine shad, just because it's got plenty of weight to it. You can skip it weightless real easy.
Yeah, that's
and like I said, it sinks on its own. Other ones I'll use like a 1/16 ounce belly weighted hook to get it down a little bit, but I don't have any issues at all with the caffeine shad. They got plenty of salt in them to give them some weight. That's
my go-to when I'm fishing deep. I do like the fluke when I'm up shallow, and there's just a little technique that I use that it's really you're just reeling it. You're not twitching it. You're just skipping it across the water. And that fluke is actually designed for that, the way the nose comes down and the back is flat. So that's just a different little deal. I'll do that. A
close second for me would be the Bruiser Baits fluke. You guys use that one?
I haven't used that one.
That one's pretty good. It's got a jointed tail on it. It's pretty slick.
I'm not a huge fluke guy. I've pretty much only used, like just until recently, the past couple of years, I've branched off, but it's pretty much been the Zoom fluke. And I really like flukes. Like if you get a brand new bag, no problem. I hate throwing a bag of flukes in my tackle bag, and then 2 weeks later they look like alphabet soup. Right. No bueno. I hate it. That's why I don't throw flukes. Usually I would throw like a wacky rig in place of a fluke. But it's not because I hate them. It's just because I don't want, like, people are like, oh, you can boil them and lay them in a row. I'm like, I don't want to be boiling flukes. Right. I'll just throw a stick bait. I'll throw a wacky rig something. And
90% of the time, if you just lay them out in the sun a little bit, they'll straighten out.
What is it? 6 Cents actually has their new, I haven't caught anything on it yet, but I like that they have theirs in a clamshell.
Yes. Yeah, I do love a clamshell. Yeah, the honey shad. Gosh, somebody, I can't believe you even said that out loud, Carolina. Leave that. I should ban that right there. You're giving away my favorite color in the Fritz side. Yes, man, that is the color. Oh God, I hope my boy Joey ain't watching.
The red did really well around here this year.
Yeah.
The red and the whatever the shad color was. I don't have any close. I'm sure Jim has one right next to him. But
What's that?
Fritz side, do you have a Fritz side 5 right next to you?
I don't even want to look.
Oh, baloney! Did you see that?
Oh my God!
First thing you can tell when you talk to somebody, you know
Hold
if they're
on,
lying.
let me
Watch
see.
their eyes. Did you see his eyes?
The total S grin on it.
You know what? No, that's actually no. I don't, because I actually put those in my flat side box, which is in my boat. So no, I do not have one here. I do not.
I actually might.
We know. Look at all that crap behind it. Look at all that. Look at all that.
We're gonna have to help him with the organization, though. I can't say nothing. I mean, I might have something back there.
I have a couple piles like Debo. I got one big pile here, and I got another big pile of crap here. That's I keep walking over that I don't want to put away.
Seeing the floor. Same here. Let's see.
Nope.
Yes, it is. I picked this up on the way home today from the lake. DQ something different.
There you go. We are staying hydrated. We are fishing with Gramps. Good to see you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
There's a good one. DB DeBlick Gillas 844. What's the best rod for distance? Longer rods. The longer rod you go, generally you're going to get more casting distance. But
Yeah.
A little less accurate, yeah.
Yeah, one of the companies that are local to me. Oh wait, I didn't put that one up there, didn't I? Sorry, I was going back and looking. There's a company called Dixie Custom, and he makes the what is it called? Something crank, because they outlawed.
Does he call it the Red Solo?
No, it's I don't know what it's
Isn't
called.
Isn't it Dixie that makes the Red Solo?
The Red Solo, yeah. What's odd about that is they
joke.
do have red and black handles.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a crankbait. It's like that. It's made for those 10XDs and those 25 plus divers, and it's 10 foot long, because in tournaments they have outlawed the what's it called, strolling, or oh my God, I can't believe I forget this. Long lining is what it's called around here. So here you go. New bait. Girthy.
I was just laughing at Fisherman 83 said, for distance, does the rod need girth? Good Lord.
You got to change the channel name to Bass Girth.
Bass Girth.
All right. I know you guys have talked about rods before, but I can't remember. If you have to choose one rod, what would it be? Medium, medium heavy, what length, and what brand would you recommend?
For me, it's going to be medium heavy, fast action, 7-footer. I think that's the most versatile rod you can get.
Yeah.
Brand, I mean, whatever brand you want. I mean, I use the Akuma stuff, Dobbins, whatever. But 7-foot, medium heavy, fast action would be my go-to.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even though it's a fast action, being a medium heavy, it's still got some give in the rod. It's not like it's a broomstick, so you can still use your moving baits on that rod, your Texas rigs, your jigs. I mean, it's just a good all-purpose rod.
I agree with that. What about you, Mr. Debo?
Yeah, I'm right there. 7.2 is my favorite. If I can only pick one, 7.2 medium heavy that's more of like a moderate fast, but like Jim's saying, a lot of the medium heavies are going to be kind of soft anyway. So as long as it's got some tip, that's the tough part, is like there's no industry standard when it comes to like ratings and like numbering on rods. So some fast can be a little bit more stiff and some can be a little bit more soft. But as long as it's got like enough tip to where you can cast stuff, then yeah, I'm right on line with what Jim said.
I've always looked at the weight specs. To me, a medium heavy that loads up to a 3/4, to me feels more like a medium heavy. And when they load up to an ounce, to me they feel more like a heavy.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. Anybody use the trace from 6 cents? I have not. You guys know what that is? I don't know.
No, I don't know what that is.
Debo's probably got a couple behind him.
I don't know. I know a lot of stuff. I don't know the trace. 6 cents trace. Let me look it up. That's not one that rings a bell. I happen to have Tack Warehouse up on the phone right now because why wouldn't I?
He's making an order of things that he don't have right now. He's ordering.
And looking at Jim's background, oh damn, is that a bomber back? Yeah, better grab a couple of those.
Hey, look, they've got to bring the new Gilly and girthy gizzard. I agree. I mean, come on.
That's a good looking bait.
Muddy Marsh. Make sure you hit Muddy Marsh there too with the big donation.
20 spot.
Yeah.
20 bomb.
Thank
Muddy Marsh.
you.
I'll drink some Powerade to that.
Trying to get to you,
That's
Muddy.
some DQ money right there, boy.
Thank you very much, Mr. Muddy Marsh Adventures. I very much appreciate that. I feel bad because I didn't have time to get a giveaway together tonight. So, but
Jim probably could. He's probably got enough giveaways to feature us for the rest of the year, all three of us.
Yeah. Let's see. Where was I? Hey, there's my boy, Bass Boys. A flipping jig.
Oh, the 6 cents trace is that new swim bait. I haven't got a user in that new multi-jointed. The one that they're like kind of keeping secret. Be out soon. You haven't heard much. I didn't know that's what it was called, but I guess that's why I didn't know it. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'd try it.
Yeah, I'd definitely try it.
I'll not catch anything on it like all the other big swim baits that I try.
Same here. I'll get a ton of followers and just be like, look at those. Please hit it. I hate this.
I just need to give all. If I can't catch that, that's the deal I should make on my channel. If I can't catch a bass over 2 pounds on a 7-inch or over swim bait this year, I'm giving all my swim bait stuff away.
Hey, can you click on Illuminathan 79?
All right, we're
901.
Top, 901. Hold on, I'm way down. I'm coming. Oh, I can't get back up there.
It's all the way at the bottom.
Oh, I thought you said 901.
Oh, I guess my time, wouldn't it be?
1001, yeah, for me. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, that's kind of going off what Debo said there. There's really not an industry standard on action. You know, just for me, from what I've used in the past, when I look for rods, I'm going to a 3/4 for a medium heavy, and then the ounce for the heavy. That's how the feel is for me. You know.
Yeah, see, that's funny because, because like for me, a medium heavy is 3/4 to an ounce. Like that's pretty standard. And then I feel like a heavy for me, I want something that's at least 1.5 ounces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's different for everybody, like even between us two, you know.
Mm-hmm. Right. So there's no right or wrong here. Just it's personal preference.
And that's why, and I know you guys say it too. It's hard because I know we all get gear questions.
Yeah.
One of the things I always say is try to get it in your hands because I might put it, one in my hands that feels I'm like, oh, dude, this is money. Whereas Jim's like, dude, this feels way too, heavy to be a heavy power at 1.5 ounces. You know, so it's tough.
All right, what do you got for the best $100 reel?
I'm always going to put the PQ in the mix.
It's got to be. I agree.
But the SLX is coming in hot.
It's coming in hot. Listen, I have to. I call it the workhorse, and that's the LFS, the Lose LFS. It is just a workhorse. The things just last forever. I mean, I don't do anything to them. I have beat the crap. I use one for my flipping rod and reel, and I mean, it's got horrible. What is it? Drag poundage on it. But
it was rated at 10 pound like the old ones.
Yeah, I think.
Yep.
I think
even
this
that,
one might
dude,
be
10
12.
pound. I used to frog fish with the Pro Qualifier. That's all it had was 10 pound.
Yeah,
and I'm not sure I've ever had the drag slip on it. You know.
Yeah, if you lock it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
That's one reel I've been trying to get. The new one. I've been trying to pick it up at Carl's. It's been sold out forever. The new LFS.
I can send you mine. I can send you mine. I got one.
Yeah.
I think it's a lefty though. You're a righty, right?
Yeah, I'm a righty. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got
mine's
one.
lefty. Sorry. Yeah, but I'd agree. LFS is my favorite, but SLX is close. But just because it has those internal centrifugal brakes, I think for a beginner, magnetic brakes on the LFS are easier. But I do think the SLX is smoother.
Yeah.
What I would say too, and this really goes for the SLX XT, but I think the reel that I recommend the most is the Tattooeless CT.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
I think is 119 or 129. If it was me, if somebody said, "Hey, I got $100 to spend," I would say save up for another month or two and get the CT because I feel it's that much better.
It is an awesome reel. I like that reel a lot.
Really good reel. I'll tell you what, I like that reel. You remember they had the R type a couple years ago? I think they stopped making it.
I mean, the odds of me having a new one right here. What
look! Oh, geez, look! Who has a Daiwa Tattooeless CT in box?
I don't know what the odds of that are, but
I know what the odds are. Highly good. If there was a betting line, I'd bet.
I'm gonna say, at least 90%.
Yeah.
So what do you think about, 200 or lower for a spinning rod? Man, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, that's way too much for a spinning reel. I mean, for me, I mean, gosh, there's a ton of really good spinning reels that are sub 100, much less that, you really want to get a good one. I mean, it's easy to find them in that 130 mark. I mean, there's a ton of good ones out there.
For years, all I did was buy the Shimano Sahara. That thing.
Saharas, man, I've got a ton of them. Yeah.
For like $80, it's a tank.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had the Symmetry with my old beaten thing that I'd never cleaned. I think that was like right around the same price. I want to say those old ones, the old green ones.
Yeah.
Budget rods beside the ugly stick, who has the best bang for the buck? I'm telling you that Arid X impressed the crap out of me. When I picked it up, I thought, oh my God, this rod is so wimpy. But it surprised me. I think we talked about the Pisc Fun rods earlier. Who else?
Some of the first bass rods or casting rods that I used, I think actually was with I think I paired them up with the Rick Gallun reels and the Pro Qualifiers. Yeah. But it was just the Bass Pro Shops Graphite series, which were like $30. Those were the rods that I started with. And for the money, dude, they were solid.
They're I mean, the cranking sticks from Bass Pro, man. How can you go wrong with those?
People always want to say it's a store brand. It's not like they're actually making it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
big deal. Their names on it.
They're probably getting made in the same place that all the cheap brands from Daiwa and Luz and everybody else is getting made in China or wherever.
Oh yeah. The internals of the Bass Pro reels and Luz are very, very similar.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure they're all made in the same factory. But yeah, people just want to down the store name, and I mean they're solid stuff, especially those rods for the price.
All right, what's your favorite jig?
Brand
or head? Swim jig.
Swim jig, yeah. For me, I have the most confidence in a swim jig, followed closely by a round ball head, which I just happen to have one here.
What are the odds?
A round ball head finesse jig, simply because that's the Dizzle special. And he's got me turned on to those. And that dude's kicked my butt so many times on one of those, a little 3/8 ounce jig. It's silly.
This is just a box full of jigs that I've never even. I've got a swim bait problem, but I also have a jig problem.
Clearly, we all have problems in different ways.
You guys seen the new the Mobster swim jig from Booyah?
No,
swim jig.
What's up?
Is that the swim jig? The new big swim jig head they have?
Yeah, from Jason Christie. I guess he
I haven't.
I just got those in the other day.
Any, but I've seen them online.
Pretty slick, yeah.
Let's see. See any more? Why, yes, I will.
Luckily, I'm just on power right here. Otherwise, I'd be slid under the table by now.
I don't work till tomorrow night. I've got a lot of girth, so I've got
Yo, Fat Boy says here, yeah, you can get the CT on eBay for $100.
Nice.
Yeah, see, that's funny because like I know you and I disagree on that. Like I wasn't that impressed with the Pro Qualifier. Like I was just kind of like, eh. But however, I had the blue and silver one, the special edition one, and I know a lot of people said the older, which I think you had before, the older Pro Qualifiers were better. And I'm like, I would recommend the Fuego. We've had this, Jim and I have had this conversation. I'm like, dude, I think the Fuego is a way better reel than the Pro Qualifier. Jim's like, no, I'll go Pro. So again,
and I got that too about the two Pro Qualifiers. I took them apart; they're dang near identical, but I haven't noticed anything different between the two as far as performance goes. You know, so yeah, I don't know what people are saying about that either. I really doubt the Bass Pro was going to like redesign that reel or something like that. I mean, it ain't broke, don't fix it. That was like one of the best reels as far as reviews go that they offered. They're not going to change it up, I'm sure. They just slapped some new colors on it and try and sell it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a little different. They changed the plastics up a little bit, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, but as far as performance goes, I haven't noticed a difference.
Now, this is one of my buddies, Bass Bully TV. He's from down in the, we'll just say greater Knoxville metropolitan area. All right. He is a stick on Watts bar. So my question to you, Bass Bullies, is I'll tell you what my favorite current bait fish is, or bait is, if you'll give me all your waypoints that you win all them damn Watts bars tournament on. But current fishing, you guys do a lot of current fishing?
I don't do it time.
No, sir.
You know, when they're generating, it just depends on what I'm fishing. You know, if you're talking about like the Tennessee River, I mean, man, I'm just upsizing weight 90% of the time. You know as well as I do, if they're pulling, I mean, it's hard. But you know, you're throwing a big, 1 ounce shaky head and that sort of stuff. But you know, river current is like being out in the river. I mean, it's hard to beat a jig and it's hard to beat a swim bait. You know,
so I was going to say like a jig or crank. Those are my river lures.
Well, I'm out of beer. Well, out of that beer. Oh, best for weeds and grass and wood. There's weeds, grass, and wood. No. Generally, they don't play well. So, what's your favorite grass bait? And what's your favorite bait around, let's say, just some blowdowns, that sort of stuff?
Let's see if I have one. There actually is it's not the trash marine. It's a gosh, what's the name of that?
Trash Master solid jig, man.
No, it's not the Trash Master. I know people have talked about that one. Grassmaster is what it's called. I think it's All Terrain Tackle Grassmaster jig. I use that for heavy grass for the longest time. And I don't know that I've got any around here. But if you want one that does well, like you can get a swim jig, and a lot of the swim jigs will do just fine, but there was something about this one, like in really thick grass. I don't know. You guys can go ahead. I'm going to search.
Hey, man. Hey, thanks, Kenneth. And yeah, I agree. Hey, listen, for you all that don't know, Debo paints baits. So we've got it. Debo, I give you full permission to have a
paint the girthy gizzard. All right, we'll make a deal. You give me the exact specifications of it, and I'll make a girthy gizzard. We'll see if it sells.
All I'm asking is 1 cent commission on all. Whoo, 87-degree water temp. It was 80 today on my big Highlands. What's your all's water temps, y'all? I think
83 today for me.
83 today.
Oh, fun one. So this is the all-terrain tackle Grassmaster. So this one's kind of unique because it's got like this bullet-shaped head. It's kind of rounded.
Oh yeah, that's.
But if you flip it, it's got like this recessed line tie.
Yeah.
And for like the thickest grass for the longest time, this was all I threw. And like a 3/8 ounce. That's an old one I have that I'd caught stuff on years ago, but that one for really thick, heavy grass, I threw that a ton. That's probably my most thrown right there. And cool thing is, they have like a little rattle, like a 1-click rattle you can take on and off some of the new ones. So
I like a rattle on the jig.
I have to go to the truck and get it. I can't think of the name of it.
So
It's a Picasso jig. It's the Hank Cherry. I think it's actually called Straight Shooter.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's what it's called.
I believe
And
you're
that
right.
head is very similar to that one there. And like I said, it comes in and out of grass really, really well.
So what's your favorite around wood, Mr. Debo?
Around wood for me, it's just going to be like a flipping, like an arky style. I honestly, that's the only way I really fished jigs before prior to meeting Randy. Like here's just a simple Nichols. Like it's going to have a turned up head. I mean, you can go vertical, you can go horizontal with your line tie, but something with like a vertical head that's going to ride over the wood. Well, yeah. So he's got the horizontal that Jim does.
Yeah. Now, see, that's what I call an arky head style. That's because I'm 100 years old.
Any folks?
Nope, that's definitely arky. This was not an arky. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing for me that I'll tell you all, if you're fishing wood, is fan your brush guard. I can't believe the number of people that don't fan the brush guard. And what I mean is like when you get them
side to side. I don't even cut it if I'm fishing it around wood, because if it fans out, it'll keep it from rolling over and getting between that wood guard. So
because that's when you're going to get the snags, is when you bring that over wood. If you leave that as one piece, it's going to roll over and grab that. But if you fan it out, that's what helps the most. So
if you guys can see that, the titanium weed guards on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is their Picasso dock skipping.
Wow, that's actually pretty cool, because it's they kind of fan out, but they
put your hand behind it, Jim.
Around. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm confused where I'm at here.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
There it is. Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's
so you can fan them out pretty good. It's their dock skipping jig, but like I said, it's great around wood. Having that line tie rolls over it real nice.
Yeah. So what about you, Jim? What do you? Give us a weed and wood.
Me?
Yep.
That's my wood
the other
right
Jim.
there.
The other Jim.
I thought I already said it.
No, did you? Did you? I don't.
This is what I like for wood. I like the horizontal line.
A lot of girth.
This is my wood jig, and for grass, I like the Hank Cherry, the Straight Shooter. But I don't have one in here. They're in the boat and in my truck. Looks like I can pull one up. It's very similar to Debo's head.
Anything really with the vertical, like I should have just kept it up, damn it. Anything with like a vertical line tie, that's the biggest thing that I've noticed, is like more of a bullet shaped. Like this is an old, I don't even want to show this. This is a secret, but this is an old striking that's been beat to tar. This is vertical line tie. But if you want to try a fun, different trailer, try a horny toad on your swim jigs.
Nice.
That's a secret. I don't show that much, but I just let it out the bag now.
There's my grass jig.
Jig. I like the oversized eyes.
I like I was just gonna say I like the big eyes. Those are cool.
Yeah.
Yep. But same kind of head that you were showing, Debo. It's got that bullet type head on it. Same type of weed guard that's on the one I just showed. That's what I like for grass.
So me, there's really no grass around me. Literally I'd have to drive like 5 hours to get to a lake that has grass in it. So if I could fish grass, I'm just going to say a frog, because that just seems like a good time. The other thing,
always the answer. Yes.
The other thing, wood. There's plenty of wood, and I attack wood, different wood in a lot of different ways. I will throw a swim jig in it. I will throw a spinnerbait in it. One of my favorite ways to attack wood is actually, surprise, surprise, swim a swim bait over it.
Honestly, my go-to for wood more than a jig is a Texas rig, like just a weedless, like a Texas rig.
That's probably, if I'm flipping and I feel like they're like buried in the wood and I need to be, flipping, I'd say probably a structure bug, rage bug, whatever you want to call it. Yep. Watermelon red, it's hard to beat that. So, all right. I'm looking through. So,
Fat Boy's asking how stiff these are. I guess a good way to put it, they are stiff enough to where you're not going to get hung up, but they're soft enough to where they'll collapse, and you can hook fish up pretty easy. So they're not overly stiff.
All right. Do you guys fish the Tokyo rig much?
Nah, not really.
I caught a big snapping turtle the only time I fished it. That was fun.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I've got a whole bunch of them literally hanging right here. just out of arm's length. So, but you know, I've not fished it much.
Oh, Debo's probably got him in his pocket.
But I've not fished it much. I think, you know, one of the things that I want to try with a Tokyo rig is actually, have you seen that rugby head that VMC makes?
Mm-hmm.
Like the shaky head?
Well, yeah, it's actually like a kind of a football head that you actually put the line through.
Oh,
So,
no.
yeah, so it doesn't actually have a hook on it. I believe that's right. Am I wrong about that? I think
Doesn't
that's
Jewel have
the
one like
rugby
that
head.
too?
I don't
I
know.
thought you were talking about the like the shaky head. I use those rugby head shaky heads forever. But
They do have a rugby head shaky head. But
Yeah,
Wait, did
I
Debo
think
just have a box right by his side?
I do. This is actually the same box I had those jigs in, but this is that's the rugby head, and I use these for shaky heads forever because look at that.
Yeah.
The line tie is like completely recessed down in there. So
Yeah.
if you're bringing it over rocks and stuff, like it's completely hidden. It's pretty cool. I used those a long time.
But that's something I'd like to try is put it on there and fish it moving, just slow rolling it, keeping it up off the bottom. And again, surprise, surprise, I'd like to put a swim bait on it, just keep it up off the bottom. That's just all I do is sit around and think about different ways to fish a swim bait. 90%
Dude,
of the
the
time.
one thing, speaking about swim baits, actually, I saw somebody talking about this. I want to try the free rig more. I think I've only ever tried it once, but it's where you take like a weightless plastic, and then in front of the hook you put like I always think of those old egg-shaped sinkers, like the water gremlins or whatever, that have like the brass like ring. And the free rig, you just run it so it's like an unpegged Texas rig, but instead of having your bullet weight in front, it's that thing. And people are saying like that falls way quicker, and it just gives it like a different look. So it's almost like a cross between like a weightless or a non-pegged Texas rig and a Carolina rig. As far as like when you're
I call it
dragging
like a mojo rig, right?
Well, I would call a mojo rig like a split shot rig, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So this is like this has that
That's
free
maybe
run, but it's kind of the same. You know, because like a mojo rig, are you using like either a pegged like Texas rig weight, like you know, a foot or whatever, or like a split shot
Or a clam
like
shot, yeah.
Yep, something like that.
Mhm.
Whereas this can move the whole time, so it's nothing pegged there.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I think I've only tried it once, and I think I broke off right away, and I've never touched it again.
I just
But-
realized what the end of that comment said. Anyway, so braided
John, we love you
line-
too, buddy.
We
And
love
we're not
you too.
homos either.
No. Oh, well, only
Well,
on Tuesday.
me and Hank hang Debo, I love you too. I love you the most, brother.
Oh, I love you guys too. Nothing but love from me. Man,
So-
life is too short. It's got to be love.
Braided line
So-
for me, man. Sunline FX2 has been my favorite for years, and 50-pound test is what I throw the most. It's got such a small diameter to it that I don't go really much smaller than that, and 50 is really plenty strong for what I do. So, I mean, I've never used anything above 50. 50's always done the job for me.
So frogs are something that I'm kind of new to, and so I'm gonna let you guys answer that question. The go-to topwater popping frog.
Popping frog.
There's so many. I've been using this one. I've got tons of questions on this. And all black. Both times I've had awesome blowups and broke off. That's when I was using that. Jim, have you used Power Pro Max Quattro? And what are your thoughts on it?
I haven't used it.
I got the heavier stuff. A lot of people are saying it's, you know, the reason I got it at a local tackle store because I was testing out some of that cheap Amazon. I don't even remember what it's called. And I broke like 4 times. That stuff was junk. I don't remember what it's called. Dominate. Garbage.
Oh, okay, really?
Not a fan of it. Yeah, I didn't like it. So I stopped at a local tackle store and got some Max Quattro because it's like, you know, thinner or whatever. So I got 50-pound. And on, I think 3 hook sets, I broke off frogfish. And one of them, I swear, could have been a PB. The way that thing like waked and hit, dude, it was a monster. But anyway, I was going to say the 6-cent Vega frog actually walks super easy in the all black. I haven't got a single hit on this one, but the all black one was destroying for me. So otherwise, I would say like the Spro, what is it? The Spro 60 or 65 popping.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
isn't
Spro's
a
my go-to frog, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's to me, they're like the gold standard. You know, nothing fancy about them, but super soft, always sharp hooks.
I've had good luck with the Z-Man too. I like the Z-Man frogs.
I haven't tried those.
I haven't fished that one. I was going to say the pad crasher, like the old pop-in pad crashers.
Mm-hmm.
They're cheap, and
it seems like I always go back to the Spros. They're just hard to beat for the price.
Yeah, I think
it's kind of funny. I think it was what's that one guy? Is his name Randy? He was boiling frogs or something the other day, and he was talking about
Randizzle.
No, not him.
I'm like, what? I
don't remember his name. He puts like 2 videos out a day.
Yeah, you can do that. It softens up the frogs. A lot of people talk about that on hard frogs, but I'm to the point where like it's kind of like the flukes. Like it's almost just like the point of it that I don't want to, because like I don't want to have to be boiling frogs and boiling flukes.
Oh yeah.
Like I would rather get, like Jim was saying, a Spro.
I agree with that.
They're already soft. They already have amazing hooks. Like,
well, what I was going to say about it, no, I've never boiled anything either, and I never probably will. I mean, I've never came across a frog that's been that tough to where I need to boil it. But my point was, in his video, he's talking about whatever frogs he's got there, and he's saying the Spro is like the stiffest that he's used. And like I said, this guy is actually, I think he's actually like a pro. Randy, I have to look his name up. Randy somebody. Hold on, let me look this up.
Randy.
But anyways,
Howell?
Randy Howell?
No, this guy, Randy.
Blanket, black.
Yeah, that dude.
Yeah.
And he's talking how the Spro is like the toughest frog that he's ever used.
Wow.
But I think actually the one he has in the video, I believe it's a Booyah. I don't even believe it's a Spro. But either way, both of those are like some of the softest frogs that I've used.
Hard.
Yeah,
I would double check and make sure he's not using the Spro. There's the Spro that has the Shad where the tails are straight up and down. I feel like that one was tougher. I don't know if it's the way it was made, but it's not the regular poppin' Spro. The things in back are straight up and down like this to mimic a Shad. I feel like the thing that people never talk about is the ability for the frog to spin out of the way when you get a fish. I'm a huge proponent of that, and I feel like people never talk about that.
Right.
But there's a few frogs that I've used where, like it can now. Those frogs can't do that, and I feel like I have a significantly less hookup ratio when this can't move. Because you think about it, that's all you've got. If this can't move, that's all you've got to keep them.
You're the first person I've ever seen mention it. So not being a frog guy, I can totally see being able to spin around how that would be a benefit. Totally. All right. So do shad colors work in places where there's no shad? Now, I will say I do like to match the hatch as much as possible when it comes to color, but absolutely, yes, they work. I think we'll all agree on that.
Well, white, especially with off-colored water, white just shows up so well. You know,
exactly.
I think those are the 2 points that it shows up. And then like around here, we have crappie, white bass. If you look at a bass from the bottom, their bellies are white. If you look at a walleye from the bottom, their bellies are white. So it's like, there's a lot of things that, if you're a fish feeding up, a lot of things on the bottom, even catfish, their bellies are white, so.
They are. All right, guys, listen, we have been on here for an hour and 22 minutes. I'm sorry if we don't get to your questions. I'm trying to thumb through these. I appreciate all you coming out. By the way, we got all the way up to I don't know how many it was. We're up to 147 viewers right now, which is incredible. Appreciate you guys.
And thank you, DQ, for sponsoring.
DQ,
thanks for the sponsorship. They're going to give us all.
Who eats at DQ? I've never heard of anybody even eating at DQ until Randy and I had that. He texted me afterward and he's like, "You seriously never ate at DQ?" I'm like, "No, who gets food at DQ?" He's like, "Dude, you're missing out." I'm like, what? I didn't even know they made
you see my last video where me and my son went to Dairy Queen. That's kind of how that came about.
Yeah. Their chicken tenders and gravy are great, man. I mean,
I don't know if you've seen it in your stream. You guys were talking about like a Texas rig or a jig or whatever. And down in the comments, we were going Burger King or Dairy Queen.
Dude, that stream my stream was, I don't remember who it was, messaged me. It was like, dude, that was so funny because you're talking about like serious stuff. And he's like, there's 1,700 side quests going on in your comments.
Oh, yeah. It was
fun. No, I don't like swim baits. I would recommend everyone not fishing them because when I do fish them, it'll just allow me to catch more fish. So thank you very much. They're awful. Don't do it. I seen somebody in here. Do you all wacky rig a lot? That's a springtime thing for me. So shallow water.
My number one producer this year, hands down, no question. Wacky rig.
I did around
neat.
docks and stuff.
What about the niko rig? You guys really doing a lot of niko rigging? Now, listen, I love that. That's like a shaky head and a wacky rig. They did love and then had a baby.
I guess I'm old school.
Great.
I just keep going back just to the standard shaky head. That's like I always forget about doing the niko.
But it's just so head. I mean, you can sit there and just shake that slack in the line and get that tail to quiver.
Right.
And then you can pop it up and you get that wacky, rig, and then it'll fall just like a shaky head. So, or even a Texas rig. So it just does so much. One of the big things I've got a video coming out on this is the mag where I'm fishing a 12-inch curl tail, and
12-inch curl tail, 1,300
No, I did
feet
not
long.
just have a mag trick worm right next to me.
74 ounces. Yeah, you did.
Did not have a mag trick worm.
We know better.
I didn't have one. I didn't have two. I didn't have three.
I've got a great recommendation for this. Bass Pro Shops. What is it? Oh man, I said I had a great recommendation and then I'm going to forget it. The Carbon Light. Is it a Carbon Light from them? Yeah, the medium. Depending on which way you're throwing, I think it's a little over $100. And again, you can probably look at, but I like a medium fast to a medium moderate when it comes to jerk baits, and it depends on what I'm throwing. If I'm throwing my two go-to jerk baits, and I throw a jerk bait a lot. I've literally got 2 dedicated rods just for this. Is if I'm throwing my Rapalas, I love those shadow wraps. And if I'm throwing that, this is the rod I'm throwing it on is a Fitzgerald, but it's a medium moderate. If I'm throwing my Mega Bass, it's a medium fast. So,
do you guys have a lot of experience with the EVX rods?
The EVX, I don't.
I wonder if Debo does. But those are anywhere from 100 to like 110, and they got a nice jerkbait rod in that setup too, or in that series. Debo, use any of the EVX rods?
No. I think is my spinning rod an EVX? No, I think it's a TCS. It's the one that looks really cool, like the black and blue. Yeah, the rod's beautiful. Yeah. Okay, TCS. I'm using.
Anyways, the EVX, that'd be another option for you though. They're like at 100 to 110.
I've been using the Lose 6.8. It's a medium light, but it's rated up to a ½ ounce. Whoops, my camera's way off. That's the wrong way. They're jerkbait rod. I've had 0 complaints. I like it for $100. I like these rods. I mean, I feel like I've heard mixed reviews from people, but dude, I had a day where I caught like 35, 40 fish on a jerkbait. This thing right here.
Yeah, I heard people complain too much girth in that handle.
Oh my god!
Well, I got to do it twice now.
All right. I seen him drinking. I was hoping he'd spit it out.
I about did. Hey, what do you guys like as far as a jerkbait rod goes? What length do you guys like?
6'8",
6'8", 6'10". Same with my Topwater. Anything longer, I'm just smacking the water. Smacking the boat.
I'm a 7-foot guy. I like it. So I can do a 6'8", 6'10". I like a 7-foot.
See, I'm going from the bank. Bank 6'8" is like a dream. If you go like 7 footer and like you're doing that all day, you're gonna bang the tip. And
I was hoping you was gonna bring that up.
Yeah. Or you're around trees or bushes or stuff. A lot of times you've got weeds and stuff in front of you where you can't. So that short rod helps.
Speaking about our boys over at Burley, there's Mr. Paul Glass.
Hey!
What is up, sir? The Masters of the Universe shirt. Yes, sir. That is a killer shirt. Yeah. Well, we appreciate you stopping by. All right, guys. Listen, we are literally 1 minute. We're going to do one last question. So, drop it down here. We'll do one last question. We're going to jump off here. Man, I appreciate everybody coming by. And most of all, I appreciate, the 2 bearded beauties that are in the room with us here.
Mine doesn't hold up
Mr.
to Jim's. Jim's is thick, luscious, well shaped.
I
kind of look
really
like a
think it's
grungy.
just.
I kind of look like a grungy mountain man
I
today.
think it's just the golden tan that he has
You know,
going on right now.
I'm
brown
Italian, guys.
skin.
I can't help it. I was born like this, you know.
It's the Italian.
The
That
Italian.
the bronze Italian in him.
Yeah.
Let's see. One more question, guys. Throw
Favorite.
one more.
Let's do
question.
2. Let's
Okay.
do Fat Boys. Off topic. Favorite burger topping.
Oh, I missed it.
I gotta
Wow.
have ketchup.
Where
I
did
can't
it
eat a burger
go?
without ketchup.
Oh, Jim, come on.
Well, I like other things on there, but I can't eat it without
I
ketchup.
swear I just said.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah. I gotta
dude,
have
ketchup is.
Gotta
I'm
have mustard.
pickles.
There it is.
I love dill
I'm not a big
pickles
fan
on
of pickles.
burgers. Really?
Yeah.
Oh man,
I love
eat pickles.
onions. Love onions on there, but I
I,
gotta have ketchup.
I posted a picture of my old lady made some homemade pickled beets, and I was eating homemade pickled beets, that she canned from the garden, my
Yeah.
dad's garden, and cheddar cheese, and I had a vote, and there was like 500 and some people that said it was disgusting versus like 90 that said it was good.
For me, man, I'm okay. If we're grilling out, okay,
Yep.
it is. Me and my wife got into a huge fight just last weekend because what does she do? She goes, I'm grilling out burgers. We don't have lettuce or tomato. We're making a full homemade burger. I want it all. I want
Right.
mustard, mayonnaise, pickles, onion are hit and miss for me. But I mean, I want a good all-American just
I agree with that.
burger.
Big girthy burger.
Big girthy burger. All right, what was the second one? Did you see this? Did you see another one in here?
I just wanted the first one. I just wanted his
Jalapenos.
mm.
That'd be good. I do like barbecue sauce on a burger.
I like those banana pepper things, like that you get at Subway. I don't know where you find those, but they're like not as hot as a jalapeno, but like they have that real like pickly, soury. Those things are really good.
Banana peppers.
All right.
Banana peppers are awesome in eggs.
Yeah, banana peppers. Yeah,
Yes,
like
I
pickled
love banana peppers.
Yep.
Love
Maybe
them on
that's what they
pizza, like a sausage and banana pepper pizza, man. I'm telling you, that is a bomb. All right, we're gonna end it on this. It's not even official, but hey, it is a question. Go-to beers. What's your go-to beer?
I'm not sure I even had 2 beers this year. I'm not much of a drinker. I drink like Bush. And it's terrible. I usually take a few sips and then dump it out.
If you're drinking Bush, I understand.
Hey, that's an Iowa thing. Bush. We had the special Bush.
My
Bush
dad for
corn
years,
packages here, and
was a Bush Light drinker. I mean, for years, he was a Bush Light drinker.
Even Bud Light. I think Bud Light tastes like crap. I don't think.
Oh yeah, I don't like Bud Light. I mean, come on, man, Michelob Ultra. I'm a red. Anything that is like an amber or a red Dos Equis. There's actually a brand that's local to me. It's called surprisingly Yeehaw. That's literally the name. Yeehaw.
Wasn't that an old school Mountain Dew knockoff? Yeehaw.
It might have been. Yeah.
Pretty sure it
That
was.
does sound familiar. But they're out of Johnson City, Tennessee, which is just a hop skipping away. Hillbilly talk there, hop skipping away in a jump. And so they make a 80. They make a Dunkel, and it's really got that coffee sort of esque flavor to it. And the 80 is just toned down. It's a little more of a red Scottish beer or Irish red style beer, and that's my go-to. I love it. And then if I'm working outside, I have to stay hydrated, so I drink Miller Lite.
Okay, here's one. What's your favorite chips?
Oh, no question. Cheddar sour cream ruffles, hands down. I will die on that hill.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one.
I'll die on that hill.
Yeah.
I'm a, man, I'm not a chip guy. I don't eat a lot of chips, man. Just not a chip guy. But if I had a chip, I think it's Ruffles too, but it's a hickory smokehouse or smoke barbecue or something like that. I don't remember the name of it yet. I love to dip it in ranch, the Lay's ranch dip, man. It's real good.
If I'm not eating the cheddar sour cream, it's usually Doritos. But yeah, the Ruffles they're awesome.
Oh man. I think we have to end. We have to end on a fishing question. There was one up here that said, "You're like your best lure this year. Like, what has been your number one?" I think I already said mine is the Wacky rig, but I think that's a good one to end on. Well, what has been your biggest
overall
producer?
all year? I've probably caught the most fish. I mean, I caught so many on it in spring. That'd be the underspin. That's been my my best.
Oh yeah,
all
that
year.
Picasso that I could never get because Jim showed his box of 374 that he had, and I still never got any of the damn things.
I happen to have.
Of course. Go figure. Go figure.
Gosh, man, it's just been everywhere for me.
Yeah, he happens to have one. Bull crap.
I happen to have a Picasso. Or, I didn't know these were in here. That's the straight shooters I was talking about.
There you go.
But, hey, go ahead. I'm looking for something.
For me, it's probably going to be a toss-up. Gosh, I swear to you, man, it's just been everywhere for me. I just feel like all year long has been a junk fishing. Earlier in the year, I got on a real good crankbait / lipless bite. The lipless was a really fun bite this year. I haven't had a good lipless bite in a while. And right now, the spy bait, man, that Duo Realis.
I heard these were sold out. Sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Spy bait.
But that Duo Realis. Isn't
that cancel thing still a thing? Somebody was telling me like you can cancel people if you get enough people to sign stuff.
Yeah.
We cancel Jim if he doesn't send me 10 of those. So
yeah. I just seen somebody that says if he don't send me some, I'm unsubscribing.
Yeah, that's what I read. Fat Boy.
Yeah.
Jim and I need to do a tackle swap. We'll do a box of stuff that we have and switch fun stuff.
That'd be fun.
We'll do that soon.
Yeah, there it is. Right there.
Yep.
Debo's got a box behind him as well. I ain't buying it. I've seen that room.
Literally, here, wait. I've got a whole hanger of them over here.
Oh my gosh! Hell, apparently I'm not the cool kid. I don't get in these.
I didn't send them to him. He ordered. Yeah, I only got like 20 of these. I got none spare.
Yeah, I've got a whole peg. I've bought them. Hey, thanks, George. Thank you very much for that, guys. All right, that is going to be a wrap for tonight. Listen. If you don't already subscribe, as I was going to say, to these two bearded beauties, make sure you go and hit them up. I know you're probably already subscribed to them. If you're not, you're like you've been living under a rock. That pineapple guy's buddy. But man, we appreciate you. I appreciate you as always. I've been saying this a lot in my videos here lately, and me and Jim was talking about it. Guys, they hate us old guys, man. They hate real fishing. Sure. I borrow that from my boy Mikey Balls too. So, guys, make sure you go out, you share our videos, you tell people, help us like, subscribe, ring that bell, help us show YouTube that real fishing matters. All right.
We may be old, but we ain't down.
That's right.
We ain't going nowhere.
That's right. All right, guys. Fisherman 83, I very much appreciate you, brother. Very much appreciate you guys coming in tonight. Very much appreciate, like I said, my two buddies. These guys are really, really a couple of my very, very best YouTube buds and pals. They're awesome. I can't say enough about them. And
both you guys.
Yep. As always, you guys rock, man. We're out. See ya. Thanks for stopping by.